Okay. Everybody's rolling.
Give me the 2-minute warning when it's after 25 minutes.
Okay.
Copy.
Yeah, sound's speeding, so we're good.
All right. And Matt, how you rolling?
Yeah, I'm rolling.
All right. Let's just kind of slate this. There's no shot here. There's no shot list what we're doing.
Are we going?
I guess so.
Is this it?
I think this is it finally.
All right. Finally.
We spent like 2 hours just setting up the lights just to do this. To recreate both your neon like lighting setup and Adam Wingard's cinematography and neon obsession.
Fucking Godzilla.
Yeah, let's get into this,
Sweet.
So where do we start? I'll leave it up to you, man. You want to set this up.
Oh, I got some. Trust me. Give me one sec.
You got some talking points. You got some talking points set up.
So Kevin, you and I, we go back.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, what was it, 2013?
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time that you and I ever hung out outside of school.
Yeah, like more legitimately, yeah.
And we saw Pacific Rim.
Yeah, we saw Pacific Rim.
Which was a religious experience for both of us.
Yeah, we saw Pacific Rim at our local AMC at the IMAX.
Yeah.
We were talking up the hype. You were talking about the hype too for the longest time. I wasn't I wasn't sure about it. I knew about it, but then as soon as you told me watching it, it's okay, I'm down. And then when I finally started watching it, the opening credits started happening, the opening scene with when you see the first kaiju, it's just this is great.
It was crazy.
It really was a religious experience at that point.
I remember that night vividly, and we got the IMAX posters.
At the IMAX posters, I still have that in my room.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, it's the little small gray one.
Yep,
I like that one. So
2013 we saw Pacific Rim.
Mm-hmm.
2014 came along, and then coincidentally enough, another kaiju movie came out, Godzilla, 2014.
2014.
And we saw that as well.
We also saw that.
Literally the same exact theater. In the same exact theater.
In the same exact theater, yeah.
I guess, what did you think about Godzilla 2014?
Well, the thing about me is, I still remember when I first saw, the promotional, the very first teaser poster. I was, scrolling on Facebook, this was, 2012. Facebook, height of, Facebook, 2012, or, near its downfall. But, and, I was, scrolling down the feed, and then just suddenly the Godzilla teaser poster just popped up for 2014. And just in my mind, my 15-year-old me was just yes. It's I'm just yes. It's finally it's it made sense. It was just came out of nowhere, but as soon as I saw that, everything kind of made sense. It seemed perfect and just what it needed to be. And just from the teaser poster too, it's it has the katakana in the back of Godzilla, of Gojira. And it's you could just tell from that you knew that they were gonna taking this more seriously. And it was gonna be not the Matthew Broderick one, the Roland Emmerich one. Mm-hmm. So and then as soon as I saw that, I just just became instantly hyped. Just searching all this stuff for it, and and that kind of led over to why I think I was interested in Pacific Rim too. When you brought it up, it's because that was also after the hype train for that.
Yeah.
And then I think it did in terms of it did deliver on the characterization and the presence of Godzilla. Yeah, when you do, there's a whole thing. He doesn't show too much in the movie. It's the criticism. They're valid, but it's when you do finally see him though, it's you can tell they put a lot of care and passion and real thought into how he should present it, and
yeah.
And as you can tell, they nailed it because now he's the legendary Godzilla is kind of he's kind of an iconic version of out of all there's always different versions of Godzilla how he looks,
Mm-hmm.
His is one of the iconic versions now, the one a lot of people recognize.
Mm-hmm.
And I think and they did a good job. Gareth Edwards, he did a really good job in terms of the tone of the movie.
He did.
And kind of balancing, the seriousness of it, treating Godzilla, it's a monster movie still, and it has fun with it at the end, but also, understanding his allegorical background a little bit,
mm-hmm.
and keeping that in mind tonally, and I think it did a really good job. So that's my thoughts on 2014.
Well, I was also going to give my thoughts on the 2014 Godzilla, but you kind of fucking nailed it on the head. I really don't know what else to add to that. But I was fucking hyped for this movie. Back in 2014, I was this is going to be the greatest movie ever made.
Yeah.
But obviously, I think it's great. I think it's a great movie.
Yeah.
I think it's faithful to the original. And what's up, man? Dude.
There's a camera right here.
Oh my God!
We have a
surprise guest,
a special guest.
Antonio,
what's up, Antonio?
Hey guys,
how's it going?
Should we get on in here?
Sure, yeah.
All right, you want to come in here, man? All right, guys. How's it going?
So it's not a casting couch, but
no. So I feel like this is like a porno where it's like, anyways. So like we're talking about the 2014 Godzilla. I don't know if you've seen any of the MonsterVerse movies, or like all of them at least. But
the recent ones, yeah.
Yeah. It's I would say it's definitely like out of the MonsterVerse, it's the most faithful to the original in terms of just tone and just overall how they treat the character as just being like this destructive force of nature as opposed to like being an actual, movie character. So I think they nailed that part. That movie is definitely cinematic blue balls, is what I like to call it, because there's a lot of cutaways of like, wow, there's about to be a badass Godzilla scene. And then, like, it's just like, no, fuck you.
His intro shot, like, when you first see him, like, in the airport, and it's like, he's finally a big reveal, and he does the roar. And it's like, this is like, that's like the perfect, like, cue for, like, the first fight. It's gonna be, like, the first, like, real fight of Godzilla, and then it got cuts to, like, news footage.
When that part came up in the movie, when I first saw it, I was like, I just about shit my fucking pants. I was like, wow, this is fucking incredible. And then they did that, and I was like, oh.
I couldn't believe it. Like, it's like, why would they do that?
I don't know.
It's like... I guess Gareth Edwards, he wanted to like have like a Jaws mentality,
Yeah.
Not too much having it. I mean,
gotta leave them wanting more,
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, man.
So what'd you think of Godzilla?
Well, I want to talk about Kong Skull Island.
Kong Skull Island. Oh, okay.
It's great.
We actually did not. Did we see Kong Skull Island together?
We did.
Was it in?
No, we saw it. We saw it at the
What the fuck is that theater called? The theater.
Well,
because
people know where we live now.
You're right. Well, I'll bleep it out. I don't give a fuck. But we saw it in that theater, and it got Kong Skull Island's a fun movie.
It was really fun.
It's a fun movie. Yeah. It's definitely a very different style from what the 2014 Godzilla was, and I think like Kong just being like a completely different character from Godzilla, like it just went in a whole other direction. But I felt like the direction they went with was like perfect for Kong. Like a great introduction for Kong.
Yeah. I was like so impressed with like how like because that's like a big task,
Yeah.
Like taking up Kong, because like that seems like a lot more of like an important like at least like a Hollywood cinema icon.
Yeah.
And also, but you can't like necessarily do like what like 2003 and like 70s the De Laurentiis Kong did, like you can't really do that same thing. You kind of like had to find the balance between like I guess like making sure like staying true to the Kong character, but not like making it too much like the old one. Like they did a really good job of like adapting it into the MonsterVerse.
Yeah, they did.
And like and then making it more of like an action specific hero. And also Jordan Vogt-Roberts like direction, like honestly, in terms of like maybe like the characterization, like the character, just the pure character of the movie and the movie's like charisma, like I think Kong Skull Island might be like the craziest and like maybe like the most fun in a way.
I agree.
Like there's like because if you look at it again, I haven't seen it, but there like people like have been like recircling clips like on Twitter and stuff about like it's more funnier like just crazy moments. And honestly, like, do you remember that scene where the
guy has the bomb and he's holding it up,
and the skullcrawler like you think he's gonna eat him, he's like sacrificing himself.
And he smacks him.
And does the tail just like smacks him?
Yeah, and he pulls up on the wall.
He pulls up on the wall. That's great. Like that sounds great.
Sad.
It's so sad, but the black humor, like the black comedy, just like works perfectly for that.
Oh, that's a great scene. It has a lot of those just really great moments in it.
Yeah, I mean,
I will say for Kong Skull Island, as much as I really like that movie, as far as like, because with Godzilla movies especially, or like just kaiju movies in general, the final battle scene is always like the high point of the movies. It's the peak. It's kind of like what everybody's going there to see. Mm-hmm. Especially compared to the other MonsterVerse movies, I feel like the final battle scene is a little underwhelming compared to the two.
Yeah.
And I think it has nothing really to do with the fight itself. I think the fight itself is fucking awesome. But it's just a fact that, like, the Skullcrawler is a cool kaiju, and it's a cool creature, but we don't have, like, the same connection with that kaiju as we do with the other ones, since it's, like, a completely new original kaiju. Yeah. So it's just kind of like, it's a cool monster, but it's not like,
They could have brought back, Gorosaurus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not in...
That would be cool.
It was in King Kong Escapes, which is the sequel to the first, like, Toho solo King Kong movie.
Is that the one where there's the Mecha Kong?
Yeah, the Mechani Kong.
There's a Mechani Kong.
Not Mecha Kong,
yeah.
it's Mechani Kong.
Mechani Kong.
And there's a whole other there's like a whole other thing about that. But like Goro also shows up in like in Destroy All Monsters 2.
Mm-hmm.
He has like the kangaroo jump where like he kind of like jumps and like just like drop kicks you. Yeah, it's great. But like they could have brought back Gorosaurus or something. But I guess like they filled the role for like making a new monster.
It did the justice. It did its justice.
It had to have like really big jaws so that he can like just rip it open.
All that shit was fucking cool. Like that
really
part
cool.
was spot on. But like it's
I feel the same for for that too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess like about like the fights and stuff but also I think the cast in it is also like really good too. I mean you got Samuel Jackson, John Goodman in it, and everything. Like it's got like like a really solid cast, and like I think like they really like not carry the movie, but they really like they really like help support elevate and support the movie like all the way.
Yeah,
it's like it's just like all the like the parts like fit together like perfectly for that.
Yeah. What did you guys think of Kong Skull Island?
Yeah,
Fucking cool, man.
it's cool.
You're at 11 minutes, by the way.
Sweet.
17.
All right.
Can I look at this?
Yeah. You guys can do whatever. I don't give a fuck.
So speaking of that, King of the Monsters is your favorite, right? Of the MonsterVerse movies?
Yeah, I think so.
King of the Monsters is your favorite out of like the 4?
Yeah, definitely.
Can you elaborate?
I think it was just really cool to see Godzilla like at its best. I also kind of like the human element too. I think I also because I like the actors.
Yeah.
And the ending of the movie was sweet.
See, it's probably it was my favorite like final battle between all the MonsterVerse movies, but we'll get to that in a bit. But it's definitely like up there as one of the best in my opinion. Mostly because we have King Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra, people who are fans of Godzilla, like seeing those characters on the big screen for the very first time was like, wow. Like that was an experience, nuts. Like I never would have thought that, like these characters would be in like a big Hollywood movie. And they were.
It was like Geigen.
They did need Geigen. It's my only complaint. It's my only complaint.
Phase 2? Phase 2?
Banana split of monsters.
Yeah. Well, speaking of King of the Monsters, you, me, and Jordan went to the Cinerama Dome to see King of the Monsters.
Which is closing.
Which is closing.
Yeah.
Dude, the
Cinerama Dome is closing.
ArcLight Cinemas is closing.
No!
Yeah.
The theater chain is closing down because of the pandemic. They're going pretty much going bankrupt.
Yeah, the
right?
entire chain is closing.
Wow.
It's so stupid.
That's fucking dog shit.
I know.
It is dog shit.
So that means like that whole center where like ArcLight was and like
Amoeba's gone too.
Amoeba's gone. So that
And
whole
Amoeba's
area.
gone.
Amoeba was okay. They moved.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm saying
They
the whole
moved down the
area is
street.
gone.
Yeah, it's gonna be an empty desert
So
now.
many memories in that little spot. From
Yeah.
Radical
Yeah.
Centers, dude.
That place sucked anyways. You guys ever been to the LA Film Fest? Or not the Film Fest, the
No.
film school?
No. Oh, I heard
Terrible
that's
place,
really bad.
Oh,
that
it's
was
like right across the street, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've never been there, but
Terrible.
anyways, King of the Monsters. This is like the first MonsterVerse movie to be like not necessarily panned by critics, but it was like, oh, thanks, man.
Excuse me,
Yeah, no, grab a beer for sure. If anybody wants a beer, we have a whole bunch. We have another open one right there. That
Is this
one's
one mine?
empty.
I forgot.
Do you want me to grab one for any of you guys?
Anybody want a beer?
Just go ahead.
You're gonna grab a beer?
I'm gonna need it tonight.
Are you really drinking beer?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Jordan, you don't drink.
You need to get this on camera, Fizz, because I've never seen Jordan with an alcoholic
Jordan
beverage in his
Bettini,
hand.
everyone.
Wow.
None of my
Is
moves.
this not normal? It seems like par for the course for Jordan, honestly.
Did you not like the taste?
No, it was delicious.
Oh,
Oh, more for the floor.
I think what King of the Monsters does right is well, I guess I should start off by talking about Michael Dougherty, the director, who, by the way, if nobody knows, he directed Trick or Treat and Krampus, which are like the two quintessential like holiday horror movies.
Yeah.
He did Godzilla King of the Monsters, and you can tell, like, definitely out of all of the MonsterVerse movies, I would say that Michael Dougherty is the most fan
Oh yeah.
of like all the directors. Like Gareth Edwards, from what I understand, he's like wasn't a huge Godzilla fan. Like he liked Godzilla, but he wasn't like a diehard
He respected
fan.
it.
He respected
a
it
lot, but
Yes.
but he wasn't like a deep fan, like
Yes.
as much as like Michael Dougherty was.
Yeah, and then Jordan, what's his name? Jordan Vogt.
Jordan Vogt Roberts.
Yeah, he's kind of there.
Yeah, he's around. I think maybe like
He's a great director, but like he's perfect for Kong, is what I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he did a good job with that. But like I would say Michael Dougherty, like as far as like just being a movie where we're bringing back like all the original Toho monsters, like he did a really good job at that. And like the scale of the monsters in the movie were like, it was insane.
Yeah,
I thought he did a really good job in like introducing these characters into this monsterverse.
Kingdom Monsters feels like really much more like a pure homage, like a pure passionate homage. Like I think he, out of all of them, like he understands that like not just like just like why they work in their own series and like their special characteristics, but like but like their pathos, I guess.
Yeah.
Like he understands the pathos of the original monsters, you know, and like and the original series, you know. You can tell he just like really like just like loves, you know, like the Toho series and it's like all the monsters and the Godzilla series, like. And it really like kind of shows like because the movie's like it's kind of the most emotional out of all of them because like even though like a lot of the emotion like kind of like comes from like the human drama, you know, which honestly like I agree with like Antonio too. I actually like I vibe with it, honestly. I vibe with it a lot, you know.
Yeah,
I think
same.
I like it's not like great or anything, you know. I mean it's not like it's not like Citizen Kane or anything, but you know, like it's still
none of these movies are.
But I mean, I don't know, but it's just like it's like, but I think it worked for the movie, and like I did like emotionally connect with like the story, and like
it's a movie made for the fans by a fan.
By a fan,
you know, and it definitely. What's going on? What is this?
Anyways, I need to start cleaning up my mess.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You want to get on this?
What? No, I'm gonna clean up my mess.
Okay.
But, you want me to sit down?
Well, you can, unless
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What are we talking about?
Point being, Michael knows his shit. He's a big kaiju fan. I even he went to Monster Palooza one year. I think the year that King of the Monsters came out.
Oh, okay.
And I think he said in a panel like, if he were to ever do another Godzilla movie or like another kaiju movie in general, he would want to do something along the lines of like he would want to remake War of the Gargantuas. So like just that statement alone, you already know like okay, this guy knows his shit.
That. I am so down for that.
Yeah.
But he does know his shit.
And he also really wants to do like a prehistoric Godzilla movie.
That'd be really awesome.
Where it'd be like
just like all monsters and like
his ancestors. Yeah. That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I love King of the Monsters personally. It has probably some of the best like monster sequences out of the whole franchise, in my opinion. It does,
yeah,
for sure.
We're at 18 on here, so I don't know if you guys want to start switching to
18. The battery.
18 minutes.
Oh, 18 minutes.
Like switching to like King Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh no, we're gonna do that right now. I was leading into that. Thank you. Perfect timing.
Wait, 18 minutes on.
I can switch. It's at 4%, so I can switch it right now if you want me to.
The camera's at 4%.
Yeah.
Do you want to just cut it?
Yeah, let's go right there.
Cut it. I think it's time we finally talk about the one and only Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
I would. I brought in a special guest for today's video.
Oh, you brought a guest?
I did bring a guest, believe it or not.
Why did you tell me about this?
Dude, it took me. I'm really proud of this guest because it took me. You have no idea how hard it was to get this guy on here. You know, he's super busy, so I want to give a quick thanks to the guest you're about to see to coming on the show because
the hype is real.
I put in a lot of effort to get him here. So everybody, please give a round of applause for Godzilla.
Oh shit! What? Holy! Oh my God! Godzilla!
Hey Kevin!
Hey, how's it going? How's it going, man? Dude, come here, man. How's it going?
You've grown into a real big boy since the last time I saw you. You fit on my lap last time.
You're just gonna sit down without giving me a hug? I was the one who fucking called you on the show, man.
You booked Godzilla?
I'll come to you.
Can't believe it. Sit down on.
But if I do, it'll mess up the
Godzilla's big, thick lap.
All right.
How's that feel? How does the spikiness of my leg feel?
It feels great.
On your bottom.
It feels awesome. How's my bony ass?
It's not as bony as me. I'll sell you that.
Great. So,
you got any hard drugs? The kind of stuff that'll make the pain go away.
Do I have any hard drugs?
Yeah.
I have some shrooms in my car. You want me to get that?
No, that stuff will make me see too many things.
Here, just give him some
I'm talking
alcohol.
the stuff that'll make you feel
drink
less.
this.
Is that alcohol?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I haven't had this since 1979. Oh God. Get off my lap, please.
You got it, man. Thanks for coming on. Sorry, Kevin. Didn't
Glad to have you.
step on your shoe.
It's been hard to breathe since the last incident.
What incident?
What incident?
Yeah.
What incident? I don't get it.
So, Godzilla vs. Kong came out this year.
Oh, did it?
It did. I don't know if you saw it. I saw it.
I don't think I did. Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I watched with you.
Yeah, well, we did. We saw it at AMC. We actually just released a video, Godzilla vs. Kong movie night, where we go out and see it. You should watch it. It's cool. It's on YouTube.
I've got to release my cat. He's been in a cage all week.
So I've been anticipating this movie for quite some time.
Yeah.
Probably, arguably just as much, if not maybe even more so than the 2014 Godzilla.
Oh, yeah.
Just having these two iconic characters, seeing them on screen for the first time in 60 years, just about, it was crazy. It's
was
just
crazy.
like the idea of them making a movie like that,
Yeah,
and it's here.
It's like... Thank you, Sam.
Don't fuck with the set.
Who is that out there?
God.
I can hear you with my super hearing. And I will bite you.
Give us a roar. Louder. Take off your pants and do it.
Do it.
What?
Do it.
Do it?
No.
Do what?
Majority vote says no, so don't do it. But I would be cool with it. Okay, anyways, Godzilla vs. Kong came out. This film was directed by Adam Wingard.
Who is that?
It's okay.
It's okay?
Sit down, just sit down.
Is it okay?
Just talk.
Feeling all right? Sorry.
Don't touch me like that.
I'm sorry.
So,
Okay. So let us know if you're, need to if you need to stop or anything, and if you need
I
water.
can breathe enough.
Okay.
Do you need a drink, Mr. Zilla? Okay, never mind. Continue.
Adam Wingard is a independent horror filmmaker, or at least he was. He was known for he's done like a bunch of just independent horror movies.
Yeah,
he did A Horrible Ways to Die.
Horrible Ways to Die.
He did You're Next.
You're Next.
The Guest.
And The Guest. I've only seen a couple of his movies, and they happen to all be his worst ones, or his least well received ones.
I really enjoy You're Next and The Guest a lot.
Yeah.
I think those are both really cool movies.
Which I've yet to see, but
Yes.
I hear good things.
I was actually reading up an interview, and apparently him signing on to this project was almost meant to be, because according to him, some of his movie influences are stuff like Terminator 2, action movies.
Yeah.
He's directing a Face Off remake. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But he brought up as a kid, he always just loved watching action movies. That was always his thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's known for doing horror movies. So I read an interview saying him making this movie was kind of like a passion project of his, because not only is it a big budget Hollywood movie, but it's also it's an action movie.
Yeah.
And it's the first time that he's actually done this. So that's pretty cool.
It is really. This is his first really big budget movie.
Yeah.
Except for
And that shows in this movie because
Death Note.
Death Note. Yeah. Wake him up. Wake him up.
Who did that? I'm gonna fucking slap whoever did that to me. Anyways, we're talking about Godzilla.
We were-
Godzilla.
Well, we're talking about mostly Adam Wingard, but
Oh, that guy was swell.
yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
He always got my food at Crafty. He got me those peanut butter, the crackers with the peanut butter in the middle. The yellow crackers with the peanut butter in the middle. He'd bring them to me, and he'd feed me them through here. And he said, "It's okay. You're gonna do better next time."
Did he treat you well on set? Is he a respectable guy?
Man, he had vision for me. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I sure wish that I could have. seen him really clearly, you know, because he was a good guy, and I miss him. Okay.
Yeah, we all do.
He shouldn't have died that way. It's just too cruel.
Yeah.
It's too cruel. The world shouldn't have let people like that go away that forever, you know?
It's very unfortunate.
He's not dead.
Wait, what?
He's not dead.
Who's not dead?
Oh yeah, if you're talking about Adam Wingard, he's not dead.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Chevy Chase.
No, Chevy Chase.
Like, it's not dead either.
What? Yes, he is. I was at his funeral. I saw his body in the coffin.
You're talking about Roger Dangerfield?
Wait, he's dead?
You do look like a Caddyshack fan.
Fuck. Can we talk about Caddyshack?
No. So,
You remember when the guy put the chocolate bar in the pool and everyone thought it was a poop, and then to clear the whole pool out
So what was it like working with King Kong?
Oh, that guy was great. Man, we'd spend such long nights together.
It must have been like, you know, like
singing and dancing until we both fell down on the carpet together.
because you guys had like you might have been friends offset, but you were really on camera.
We were so much more than the friends, Kevin. So much more.
But on camera you guys had to fight. You had to go like head to head. And like
we fought hard. We wrestled.
Yeah, like
we wrestled.
No, really, like I mean, like you're like at the very at the climactic fight. Like you guys, you were like scratching like at his chest and stuff. And like it was like pretty violent. You guys like really went like close like hand on hand
you
combat.
Have to remind me, man. That shit's ingrained in my memory forever.
So I don't know if the video will be released before or after this, but I'm going to do like a more in-depth like review on Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah,
it is a little hot in here. A little bit.
Okay.
You can take that off if you're more comfortable.
I'm sorry. What?
You can take that off if you're more comfortable.
Yeah.
Hot.
Please feel welcome.
Okay. It's okay.
But as I was saying, I'm going to be doing a video where I talk about my thoughts on Godzilla vs. Congo, more depth into it.
Godzilla vs. Congo.
Did I say Congo?
Congo, the Michael Crichton.
Yes. So I kind of want to just pass the mic to you, not literally but figuratively, and just kind of get your thoughts on what you thought about it. Just like your general thoughts of like what you thought about it.
Oh man, it's like
your overall experience. I guess
I have to like recall like a lot like at once because like
I can talk about a few things if that'll help.
Yeah, like I guess like for me like in terms of like the hype for the movie, like I guess I was on the same boat as you.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like Godzilla vs. King of the Monsters is probably like that like I was like maybe like in a way excited for that at the most in a different way because like that's like it's crazy that movie was made like like these focus specifically on the Toho monsters that not everybody really knows about offhand like Godzilla, King Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan like the general public in terms of like especially like in America but like but I kind of knew going in that like if the one that would be the most successful like the one they really got to get right it's got to be like Godzilla vs. Kong. So in a way, like I knew that they're gonna put all the chips in this basket in a way like, and they were just gonna go all out, and they're just gonna go all out with it, and like in that was sense like I was like hyped for like, and like how far they could really take it. In a way, and in a lot of ways, they really did like I think they really did like went like the farthest with it. They really like because like there's one thing complaints about the other Monsterverse movies that it's always like shot like at night and dark. And like there's a lot of cutaways from the action. There's not a lot like long uninterrupted fights. Godzilla vs. Kong has not only is like a lot of it is like a little more in daylight sometimes, but like this time too, pure like long uninterrupted fights. Real like and you like really feel like the visceral like violence of like the fighting and like like there's like real like hardcore like point-on-point contact like all like like when Godzilla like when like King Kong like punches him or something like that and like and or like when Godzilla like bites at him it's like it feels like more visceral like it's kind of the most like detailed and like in depth like fight. I guess in terms of like in the fight scenes and the action scenes out of all of them.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
I think as far as like the whole Godzilla versus Kong stuff goes, which is the main reason why anybody's going out to see this movie. It fucking delivered in not only every aspect, but it just delivered so much more.
It did.
In terms of just like the fighting, like the fight sequences. And kind of like what you were saying, like, with King of the Monsters, a lot of people had problems with like the cutaways with the giant monster fights. And they like, they did not do that in this movie.
Can we get this guy out of here?
I actually had a very important question. Can I borrow your phone? I need to call a taxi.
We can call an Uber for you.
I can drive you home once we're done.
I don't want you knowing where I live.
Fair enough.
I might get roped into another thing like this.
One of our PAs can get you get you ready.
I'll help you out, Mr. Zill.
Yeah.
I got you. Grab onto me.
Mrs. Zill, everybody. Godzilla, everybody.
Thank you for coming on. Pull up your pants. This movie's definitely a spectacle.
It is a spectacle.
And like you pretty much nailed it like right on the head. Like all the action sequences were great. They were not only great, but they just, I don't know, kind of got a brain fart.
Same.
But
I don't know what's going on right now.
I don't either. That kind of just really threw me off.
Oh, what's even happening?
I don't either.
This is what happens when you don't get notes to things.
I guess to just go further, we would have to talk spoilers.
What the fuck am I doing this? I'm in here. This is some of my shit,
Yeah.
People are spitting, on my Blu-rays.
Yeah.
My price collected figurines.
Yeah.
And DVDs and Blu-rays.
Sorry.
Let's get into spoilers.
Okay.
Spoilers.
Spoiler talk.
So there's another character in this movie that is probably one of the most unkept movie secrets of all time, because everybody knew that this was happening way before the movie even came out. And the director even posted a photo of this character on his Instagram like days before the movie came out, so everybody already knew that this fucking character was going to be in the movie. But Mechagodzilla's in it.
What?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Mechagodzilla's in it?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Dude.
Fuck, I actually wish I hadn't gotten that spoiled for me.
Yeah, see, that's what I told you. Like, it's.
I shouldn't have come.
That's the biggie though.
Damn it!
That's.
You couldn't have brought Mechagodzilla on.
Well, so. What? How did you feel about Mechagodzilla in this film? That's not what he looks like in the movie.
This isn't what he looks like. I don't have a figure of it.
No.
Yeah, I thought that was for the camera.
No, that's not a bit. I didn't know.
No, he's totally.
I haven't seen the movie yet. I haven't seen anything about it. Fuck.
I warned you there was going to be another character in it, and you told me not to say anything.
Millie Bobby Brown. I thought you were talking about Millie Bobby Brown.
11 from Stranger Things?
She was in it. She is. I thought that's what you were talking about.
Why the fuck would I be talking about any of the human characters in any of these movies?
Because I don't know. It's Millie Bobby Brown.
Who gives a fuck? But yeah, so Mechagodzilla's in it. Just to throw that out there to everybody.
Sorry,
yeah,
Sam.
sorry about that, Sam. I'm so sorry. I tried warning you, but I didn't know how else to go about
If it means it kind of spoiled everybody.
Yeah, everybody kind of already knew going in that he was going to be in it, and it was still fucking cool.
Sam didn't. Feel really bad now.
I don't know how I feel about his design in this movie.
Yeah,
it's a little weird. He's a little skinny.
Yeah, he's all kind of skinny. He looks a little bit of lanky. He looks kind of lanky.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's like old back at Godzilla's. And they kind of even the one from Ready Player One. They
looked better.
It felt kind of like the form fitting, kind of matching the form and the the look of Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
But in that one, I guess it makes sense for the MonsterVerse.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of looks a little more industrial.
Yeah.
A little more practical,
it's more
I guess.
realistic and practical, yeah. I would agree. His scenes were really cool, though.
Oh yeah,
I
his
thought,
powers and
just the whole battle that they do, it was It was perfect.
It was perfect.
It was perfect.
So
There's
perfect.
a lot of moments in that scene, and again, like the fights are so prolonged
Yeah.
and just they last forever,
They
keep going and going, and there's no like interruptions. It's just nonstop, you know. And yeah, that's what I really...
And I'm glad too that, I mean, like, you know, because like there's some things, you know, when you gotta do, you know, like when you bring on some monsters, you know, like when Mechagodzilla, like, you know, like when as soon as Mechagodzilla was announced, it's like, okay, if they're gonna do that, they have to do the thing where like Godzilla and like Mechagodzilla's beams, like that they do like a beam fight where like
and they did it.
And they actually did it. I was like, are they not gonna do it? You know, because they think it's gonna be stupid. No, they just fucking did it, and then, like it was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, it started. I think it started like that trend started with like Godzilla and like, versus Mechagodzilla, the first one. So,
yeah.
You know, it's like the movie is definitely like a crowd pleaser, you know, but like in the best way. And it does know exactly what everybody wants and like how to deliver on it, and like both like to the general audiences, but also the fans. The fans. Not to mention like the Godzilla, the King Kong versus Godzilla references.
I was going to bring this up. There's 3 references that I noticed in the movie. I'll bring those up right now. The first one is the obvious one, which Adam Wingard kind of hinted at before the movie came out. There's a scene in the original King Kong versus Godzilla where King Kong stuffs a tree down Godzilla's throat, and it's like the funniest shit in the world.
And he does it with the axe.
There's a reference in this movie where he does it with the battle axe.
He does it with the battle axe?
Stuffs it down his throat, and I was like, fuck yeah, great. And then there's another one, you know, the scene of him being carried in the helicopter.
That's my favorite.
That was awesome.
I was like, when they did that, I was like, okay, I'm on board.
It makes no sense, but I was like, fuck yeah, you know? And then the last one, this one's kind of a stretch a little bit, but right at the part where they're fighting like in the water, there's a shot where King Kong emerges from the water after like they set that bomb off, and I think that was a reference to the original as well, because like, you know, the original King Kong versus Godzilla kind of ends with the cliffhanger of like them falling into the water and just like wrestling.
Yeah.
And then was it the American or Japanese cut where King Kong like rises from the ocean and he just fucking walks away?
The thing is there's the whole misconception is that it's actually the same throughout the actual footage is the same throughout all versions, except in terms of like the ending, the footage is the same. But what's different is that I think in the American cut you just hear King Kong roar, and in the original Japanese cut you hear King Kong and Godzilla roar in the end.
Yeah,
that's where like sort of like the thing comes in.
Yeah,
the misconceptions come.
But you know, the first fight when they're at that, you know, on the ship, and you see King Kong emerge from the ocean, I thought that was perhaps a nod to it. Kind of a stretch, but I feel like it could have been.
I think
that could have been like okay, here's where the last, you know, movie left off, and now we're gonna continue on with the story. You know, I feel like it was that sort of thing. I want to talk a little bit about King Kong and Godzilla as characters, because they are actually characters.
Yeah, which is
fucking cool.
Because like you're actually right. You can't really say that about some of the other ones, because even in Godzilla vs. King of the Monsters, they do feel more like monsters. But like there's like they definitely like anthropomorphize, like not too much, but like they definitely like add like a lot more characters to characteristics
and personality.
Personalities.
Both of the monsters have a personality. They actually feel like a character, especially Kong, who I think the best human character in this movie, I forget her name, the little girl.
Oh
the
deaf
the
girl.
last of the Iwi tribe.
Yeah.
She's, I think, one of the best characters like in all of the MonsterVerse, mostly because she's the only character where like we're able to know what Kong is thinking and feeling through her, which is something that has not been done before. It's the first time we've seen a big kaiju actually, like, we know what's going on through their head.
Yeah.
And that is such a cool thing. And another thing, like, even with Godzilla, you know, we don't exactly know, you know, there's not like a human character to tell us how he's doing or feeling, but like, he has facial expressions.
Yeah.
And he, like, you know, he does little things where, like, you know what he's thinking, you know what he's doing. And there's that fucking weird-ass scene, I don't know how everybody feels about this, but he fucking smiles. You know the shot of him smiling? Godzilla fucking smiles.
When exactly was that? When exactly was it?
I don't know. I loved it. You know, I know people will probably be like thrown off by that.
There's like a lot of moments where like he's kind of like doing that, and it's just like and it's like, but I like it. I like all of it. Yeah. Yeah,
but you know, both of the monsters have such personality to it. I think it also adds a lot of depth to the battle scenes.
Exactly.
And you know, it just makes it so much more like grand and epic in scale, and it just, you know,
it wouldn't have worked as well if they'd gone like the route of the other ones.
For sure.
Give them more characteristics. You know, like accentuate them thematically too. You know, and you know, like why exactly like they're fighting. You know, and like and like what is bringing them together, and like what is like, and also like the expansion of the lore too in the bit. You know, like we're figuring out too that like like ancient times, like way a long time ago, like Godzilla, the old Godzilla race and the old King Kong race were like enemies.
Yeah.
And they had like ancient epic battles in like inside the earth, which also this is a whole other Hollow Earth thing.
Hollow Earth. That whole sequence was so fucking
The sequence
out
is amazing. The sequence is awesome. I
it
love
was
that
out
so
there.
much.
It was weird. It was a very weird direction they took, but it worked.
It was
in my
great.
opinion.
Like there's a point where like it goes like 2001: A Space Odyssey, like like effects, like when they're going, like when they go right in, like it's like the flashing effects, and and parts of it kind of feel like a Universal Studios ride, but
little bit,
but like in the best way.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like it's just like we're just going in deep, just having a good time.
Yeah.
And it's just it's really exciting.
And there's potential for sequels with this whole Hollow Earth concept.
I was thinking it's like because they left Godzilla King of the Monsters, with like the cliffhanger that the King Ghidorah's head was like being left alive that they found it. So I was wondering like how exactly they're going to do that, even like in the next one. How they bring back Mecha King Ghidorah or something. And I think if when I heard Mecha Godzilla was going to be in there, it's like, so that means what are they going to do about King Ghidorah's head? Is that going to be more movies?
Yeah.
But then they ended up implementing it into this one somehow.
So like
in a smart way.
King Ghidorah's
his mind
is controlling Mecha Godzilla,
which is pretty fucking cool.
It's really cool,
and it's really smart.
It's like his arch nemesis is behind the suit, but it's also Mecha Godzilla, who's also his arch nemesis.
And it's also like how he senses them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But
it is really cool.
Wait till you see the movie; it's great. But anyways, the Hollow Earth sequence. Back to what I was saying, it leads to so much potential for sequels, and that's why I think this franchise has a lot of potential.
It does,
because with this Hollow Earth concept now, presumably being where all these kaiju's are coming from, they can do. I was telling you this, but I'm just doing it for the sake of the video. But they can do a Destroy All Monsters-esque movie.
If they have to end the MonsterVerse,
where they introduce what's wrong with Destroy All Monsters?
Sorry, we should bring back everybody.
My laser just tired.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Shit.
Here, let's stop right there. Actually,
Defecate my pants.
Stop right there?
Yeah, we gotta stop. No, I mean, we gotta take a break.
Community, it's like you should look like this.
Let's get this on camera real quick.
Jeremy, please send me a recording.
Is this a bit?
All right.
No, this is things I actually believe.
I don't know, guys. Shin Godzilla's pretty thick too. What am I gonna get? What SpongeBob? Am I gonna get fat? No, it's all gonna rot to your thighs. My thighs.
Fucking SpongeBob.
My thighs. And then you blow up.
And it's kind of
you might need to format the card.
Yeah, you got 29 minutes. It says 23 to 98.
And it's not necessarily about the intention itself.
Rolling. 23 to 98.
It's also about the
rolling?
nature of the
Yeah.
situation.
Cool.
Where's the slate? I just had it. Just clap.
Yeah, here.
It's fine. No, it's fine. We're no good.
I'm gonna clap.
Like, as we all know, fighting is deeply tied to sex. It's hard to fight and not get a boner. That's just fact.
This is so wrong.
That's just fact.
No. You've never been wrestling with
You've
your
never
bro,
fought
you
with
don't-
a pure
don't
animal.
pop a huge
You've never
boner.
fought with that animal instinct, that pure rage.
So you're just getting boners by mammals?
It's not like I want to. It's just it's an instinct.
It's a necessity.
Anyways, I'm just relating that as to why, whether you see that subtext or not, that is an intrinsic aspect of a Godzilla versus King Kong movie. It's like Predator versus Alien. It's like you can't think about it without thinking about them fucking.
Yeah, I can.
Well, then you're just ignorant.
You're just repressed, man.
It's not funny. I don't know how you use it. It's just the fact of the matter. Anyways, okay. So we're talking about the erotic subtext in Godzilla versus King Kong.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So I'll let you guys speak first, and then I'll interject, because just as a forewarning, I have not seen the movie, but I have had sex with men. So
Okay.
think I have a good thing to say.
Well, I don't know. What do you
What are you on your phone?
What do you have to say,
I have some
Kevin?
notes. I have some notes.
Okay,
He's
please
looking
say
up what homoeroticism means.
What is?
You see Lighthouse?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know how there's just as soon as they're together, you're like,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's
Sexual
what
tension.
homoeroticism is.
No.
That makes
They're
sense.
living in a giant
She
universe.
watches him.
It's like
masturbate.
before even anything happens, you're like, these guys have to fuck, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just like that.
Have you guys seen?
But they're monsters.
Y tu mamá también.
Yeah.
Similar,
so
similar.
it's like that scene at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's wrap that concept to that movie.
Okay, so
Okay.
Godzilla versus Kong. I mean, they're both thick boys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's
Godzilla especially.
There is one scene I can talk about. I mean, I guess it's not much of a spoiler. It's just something that happens during one of the fights. But there's a scene where Godzilla's like towering over King Kong, and they have like a roar battle where they're like roaring in each other's faces.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little sexual tension there.
There's a little bit.
It's not like, you know, mind you, Godzilla's standing right above
like
King Kong.
He has like his like foot like stumped on his chest.
He's got his foot on his chest, and he's just roaring in his face. And I think that was his way of not only showing his dominance, but way of saying, like, you know.
And what is roaring similar to? A mating call.
That's what I was gonna say. Is a mating call.
Exactly.
You know, I can see that. I can see that, Kevin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you have any thoughts?
So, my main thought, I guess, is, as I was talking about earlier before we got in here, but I'd like to reiterate, is that in terms of that subtext, a lot of what it boils down to is Godzilla's own identity. So, as we mentioned earlier, which was to my surprise, but fits in perfectly with my earlier theory, you were talking about how Mechagodzilla was particularly thin.
He is.
Especially compared to previous designs.
Yeah.
So one thing that's significant about this iteration of Godzilla is he's very thick. Not in any particular way, it's just part of his design.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that would imply that it is particularly, what would be the word? Purposeful for Mechagodzilla to be so thin.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not just a recreation of Godzilla.
Not only that, he's not only meant to be like a recreation of Godzilla, you know, as a villain, but he's also created, you know, by a corporation, you know, to mimic Godzilla. You know, he's a fake imitation to be like their version of of Godzilla, their capitalistic version.
That ties in perfectly. It's a societal view of what Godzilla should be.
Yeah, exactly.
So this ties into Godzilla's image. He's on both sides. He has either King Kong, the prime apex symbol of masculinity. He's just a giant fucking monkey.
Yeah.
On the other hand, he has a twink. That's what Mechagodzilla is, in truth. You can ask the director himself. I'm sure that's what he intended.
We'll have to call up Adam.
Anyways, so the fight really boils down to this struggle between these two sides of his identity. Society wants him to be this prime apex male, this alpha male, this monkey. But society, the corporation, if he's going to be gay, if he's going to be accepted, he should look like this. You know, you should be what society views gay people as this twink. When in reality, he's just a monster. He may be gay. We don't even know that. The homoerotic subtext exists, but he has to be himself, and he struggles to accept that because he's viewed as these things by these people around him. These people that he's supposed to save. These people that he's supposed to coexist with.
Not to mention too, it ends, with, the whole thing is, like in the context, the movie's trying to purport that they're fighting is for dominance, but it was until the end when, they work together, Godzilla and Kong, work together to fight, the great enemy, which is Mechagodzilla and also, the corporatism, and things like that, and the concept of societal norms, and it was until they worked together, and defeat the greater evil, and they were able to learn that that coexisting,
And that ties in perfectly with the theory.
Yeah,
I mean,
I can't argue with
now
that.
they live in harmony now, both physically and mentally.
I mean, many alpha males might identify with King Kong. They might be that to me. I'm a monkey. They might see that, and then just speaking for myself, but it's hard as a gay person not to identify with Godzilla.
Right.
It's difficult, it's just right there.
Right.
So it really speaks to that ideal of society's trying to pin these two groups against each other, But it speaks, the ending of the film, from what you've told me, really speaks to the true evil of not only society in general, but specifically American society in this time period. Capitalism.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clap
Antonio.
Said the batteries.
Godzilla and Kong are communist.
It died.
It's no idea.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, let's change the battery on that.
Alright.
Do you have to go?
Yeah,
Okay.
Can you guys finish it up in like 5 minutes?
That was a bit, right?
Yeah, we
That was
can.
terrible.
Okay.
If Mechagodzilla is like his twink side, Godzilla and Kong killed them together. So is that just saying like gay people are just bad?
No. Well, that's the thing. He's not gay. He doesn't feel anything. He doesn't have a real sexuality. That's the whole point.
Just really quick. So the Hollow Earth. Back to what I was saying. It'd be really cool if they did a Destroy All Monsters-esque sequel, just to like, introduce like older kaijus that maybe the general audience aren't familiar with into this monsterverse. I think that would lead a lot of potential to the sequels.
Yeah. Or at the very least, like as like the finale of like the entire MonsterVerse,
And I noticed there was a monster in Hollow Earth. I brought this up to you in the theater, but it looked like a do-rat.
Do-rat
from Godzilla
versus King
Ghidorah.
The Heisei version.
The Heisei version. So
Yeah.
there's like these little tiny winged creatures. It looked very similar.
It did look kind of look like them.
It's not a do-rat, but maybe like it's a
It could be.
callback to that.
It could be a callback. Yeah.
But anyways, that's all I have to say.
It's like it'd be cool to like have like a reference like even like the more obscure monsters like Baron or Kumonga or the walrus one. Do you know the walrus kaiju?
I've heard of it.
I forget his name.
Yeah.
I would die to see the walrus
awesome.
the walrus kaiju.
The walrus kaiju.
And particularly for me personally, I would love to see Gigan. Like
for sure.
Definitely Gigan if they can work him in somehow.
Yeah.
He was in concept art for
Yes.
Godzilla King of the Monsters by
Yes.
Christopher Schei. I would, and so I mean, at first like there was like thoughts like he was actually in it, but it was just because he wanted to put it in. But Legendary, if you can do that,
Please.
Gigan, we're a bunch of Gigan stands here, so
Yeah. Please do make it happen.
But
And don't forget about Jet Jaguar.
Yeah.
Jet
don't
Jaguar.
forget about fucking Jet Jaguar.
Jet Jaguar.
Then
Punch,
anyways,
punch. Punch.
What were the points you want to bring up?
I just like some last things. So so we brought up the awesome and hilarious reference to Serial King Kong versus
Correct.
Godzilla, the King Godzilla and Kong's characterization.
Yes.
I want to bring up not just like references to other things, but also Adam Wingard. He's a big anime. He's a big anime head. And there's some particular moments I think that were referencing some particular anime. In this point,
Evangelion
episode 8 in one particular point in the battle cruiser fight where like where Kong was like jumping on the boats, that was like specifically on that happens in Evangelion at one point, and it very much was feel like a reference to that.
Very interesting.
In one point that it wasn't probably, it was a little indirect. I don't know if like that did feel like very Akira to me. It was when you first see Mechagodzilla and he's like, but he was still like curled up in the ball and it was like rising up. It kind of looked like a lot like when Mechagodzilla, he was still like curled up in a ball.
Yeah.
And like it was just like rising up like the lift up to the room. It looked a lot like the dome or like the container of Akira inside, like that was like underground in Akira. It looked a lot like that to me. So I thought that was like kind of like maybe like a vague reference or something like that.
Yeah.
And the axe.
The battle axe?
The axe.
Oh, it has Godzilla's scale on it?
It has Godzilla's scale on it. Like that's like just perfect. Like that's so smart and clever.
They hinted at this whole like, ancestral rivalry that King Kong species and Godzilla species have. And apparently, like, King Kong species were, like, intelligent creatures. So they would, whenever they would defeat a Godzilla creature, they would take a scale and use it as a battle axe to fight the Godzilla species.
And it's such a smart way to level the playing field for the fight, too. Because since the scale's, like, the source of the power of Godzilla's power. And then so he's able to, like, block it. King Kong is able to, like, block and absorb the power with it. So it's not like a one-sided fight.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, like, King Kong can't breathe fire,
Right.
So like, so he can do that. So that was like a really clever way to like do that. So, and the axe is just so badass. That was so cool.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
Expanding the lore between King Kong vs. Godzilla, the Death Girl and King Kong, that being like the best, like, most developed, and effective relationship in the movie.
One of the best human characters just in the whole MonsterVerse.
Honestly. And like, also, the fact that Adam Wingard like decided to have a definitive winner. Yeah. So
that was really cool. And I like how it wasn't like a matter of like who kills who.
Yeah.
It was just more so like they fight, they have a good fucking fight, and there's a clear winner,
They were able, it was so good. They were able to find a way to like, satisfy, to not cheap out, and, not like, like make like an ambiguous, winner or anything like that. They were able to figure out like how to, satisfy that in terms of like, who would actually win that question, but still like have like a satisfying ending so that no one would have to die. And still have like a good climactic ending, which is like where Mechagodzilla comes in. So it's like for them to have to like fight, and then they learn like the both of them are like a like a bigger, they kind of like learn like a bigger, and I don't see morals. Are there morals in the MonsterVerse?
Yes,
I guess so.
I don't know.
But they learn more from it. They grow from it.
Yeah.
And like like there's actual character development for Godzilla and King Kong in this movie, which is awesome.
Right. Well, to wrap this up, I guess one final question would be, how would you rank the MonsterVerse movies?
Like me personally?
Yeah.
It's still pretty. I'm still kind of thinking about it. I have to I want to rewatch all of them to like really say. But so far, I guess in my mind, I think it's definitely like a debate between like, just for me, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and King Kong, Godzilla vs.
As like
Kong.
your favorite?
As like my top favorite. King of the Monsters, like Daughtry is like, he's a much more like fan, and like you can sense like his passion and like the pathos of like the whole series in that movie, and like it definitely like speaks to like me and like a lot of us are horror fans, of the original Toho movies a lot. But King Kong, it's like versus Kong, like it definitely like delivers on the fights more and like the action and it's just pure spectacular, all the time, and it's just such like a good whole as a movie, and like it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And
then probably like after that would be like Skull Island, and then 2014. I love all the movies. I respect them a lot still, even despite all their problems, but that they might have. But like that's probably what it is for me.
Now that you say that, I'm kind of like kind of changing my ranking, but
okay.
Originally, what I had was like Kong Skull Island was last. Not that it's like a bad movie. I still think it's a great fucking movie. It's just kind of like the end battle scene. Like you don't have as much as a connection to that with like the other ones. Since like growing up and being a fan of the other kaijus, obviously that is cooler to see. But it's so cool. So that would be last. Godzilla 2014 would be third. King of the Monsters are probably second. Godzilla vs. Kong probably would be my favorite of the MonsterVerse, just because of just how fucking weird and out there it can be, and it just delivers on like the monster battles in every possible aspect. I guess I'm just gonna stick with that ranking for now, because that's just kind of what my gut is saying. So
right, we feel it.
But yeah, Legendary. Please make more.
Please make more.
Please make more.
You can do it. It's the best pandemic movie.
Yeah.
It says a lot, People want to see these.
They do.
But also do them well.
Yes, please.
Please honor them.
Please fix the fucking human characters.
Yeah.
It's,
that's the one thing I do want to talk about, is like really quick. People complain about the human stories a lot.
Yeah.
And there are issues with that. But I also think, Legendary thinks, that they can't, they think it's like impossible for them to do a great human story and make a great monster movie at the same time, like a really compelling, like it doesn't have to be like super serious and dramatic,
right?
Or like, but like they can't do it, like they think they have to like sacrifice one or the other, and the primary focus should be on the monsters.
Yeah.
But like, it's like Legendary. It's like you can do that. Just like, you might need to like, it'd be hard and like add more creativity to it, but you can make like really solid, compelling human stories that tie in with the monsters.
It's been done before.
It has been done before.
I mean, Godzilla vs. Biollante has a great human story.
Exactly.
Mostly because the human story is also connected with the monster story, which makes both stories as equally
emotionally and character-wise.
Correct. Yeah.
And just like the original, it doesn't have to be like a super. It has to be like the original Godzilla Gojira like stands on its own.
Right.
But like it doesn't have to be go that far. But that's a great example. That is like the titular example. And Shin Godzilla, the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think for like the long lasting life for the MonsterVerse, they have to maybe consider more the human stories as well.
Agreed.
And take those into consideration so that we can empathize with them as well, like thematically, because I think it's possible.
Yeah, agreed. It can happen. So make it happen,
please,
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I think that's all I have to say.
How should we end this? Okay. Good night, guys. You can clean this all up, right?
I need to pee. Yeah, you guys got this shit, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Guys.
Yeah.
Fuckers.